So my name is Gloria Duarte. I am a senior at Georgia State University. I double major in business management with a concentration in human resources and hospitality administration. I'm Mexican American and I'm also Catholic. So at church, at least, the icons are more so as images just to kind of represent who they represent. Like, for example, the saints, which we really only have a few images, such as St. Thomas, who is at the front of our church, because he is the patron of our parish, St. Thomas the Apostle. And the rest are really just Mary, or for example, La Salette, who is Jesus's mother. And then we have Jesus Christ. We have crucifixions just to represent that he gave up his life for us. The icons specifically don't have a huge meaning to me, but I will say things such as medallas, they're kind of more like a way for me to remember that I'm not alone. So I feel like that's what people in our church at least utilize the icons or the figures or the medallas for. The way that I feel closer to God is through prayer, and me specifically, my gift that I like to share is music. And so through singing, that's really where I feel closer to God, or like actual prayer. And especially when I'm receiving the Eucharist, because it's what it represents is that God, who gave us his only son, Jesus, he was crucified. And before that crucifixion, they had the Last Supper. And during the supper is when Jesus offered up himself, his body and his blood to us, and the Eucharist represents that. So every single time we live the Mass, it's a callback to the Last Supper when he himself said that he was giving himself up to us. So that's when I feel closest to him, because through the Holy Spirit, the bread and the wine are converted into the body and blood of Christ. Intentions are, it's kind of exactly what it says. It's an intention. It's something that you want to offer up to God as a prayer. And when I was lighting the candle, I was lighting my intention, which people usually keep that to themselves, so I won't share it here, but it was for something that I specifically was praying to God to answer that prayer. So I would say this is a huge part of my identity. Considering that I spend really a large majority of my time at church. On the weekdays, I haven't been coming as much only because of my classes or work, but on a usual summer, I'm really here like maybe 5 times a week because there's daily masses. And on Sundays, I come to 2 masses because I'm a part of both of those choirs, the bilingual choir and also the Spanish choir. And I'm also a part of a couple of other ministries, such as the lectors. Well, we read the first and second readings in the Salmos. I also help with the calendar for our other readers. And then I'm also a altar server, or in Spanish they call that a monaguillo, where we kind of help the priest during the actual Mass, where he's setting out the offerings or the bread and the wine and the cups and things like that.